Okay, everyone, I am going to get started with this presentation or this webinar. As you can see, there are there's some dial-in numbers you can use, and you can also connect via the internet. I always connect via the internet, easier to do. If you have any questions, you can leave them in chat. I have a second computer running here that's got the chat box open, and it's the little window that looks like a speech bubble that's on the computer there, or on the top of the screen on the Join Me. I am recording this, so if you want a copy of it, you can reach out to me at chris@salestipaday.com. And then on top of it, if you have any questions, text me, or what I'll do is at the very end, I'll open this up for a question and answer as well. Just got to check on one thing here before we get started. And good. Looks like everyone probably has the ability to get in. Got Tenia here today. Greatly appreciated the attendance here on this as well. And what we'll get going is we're going to get going on the 12 ways to grow your sales. And this is wrapped around the service business. But don't, if you're not in the service business, please don't just walk away right now. There's stuff that you'll be able to glean from this as well. I'm going to make 3 assumptions here for people that are in the service business. That first of all, you have a service business. Service business pretty much impacts a lot of people. Even if you have a product-based business, a lot of times people will actually have to service their products or what they supply. So, it is pretty applicable to a lot of people. Now, the other thing when I talk about service business, I'm also talking potentially, guys are working on homes or on businesses, a whole bunch of different things. I'm going to take a look that you also have the potential for repeat business, and I hope everyone has potential for repeat business because it's the easiest business to get. And last but not least, that you have a website, although if you do not have a website, this is not necessarily going to be a showstopper for you. It's so easy to set up websites nowadays through something like GoDaddy, or reach out to me, chris@salestipaday.com, and I'll help you point you in the right direction to getting a website set up. So I'm going to go into a couple of different things here. I'm going to go offline, which I call offline or the real world, and I'm going to go into the online world as well. So I'm going to kind of lay out about 6 tactics in both kind of categories that will help you out. And the first one, I just kind of mentioned it earlier, is repeat clients. So the first tactic you really want to take a look at is being able to generate repeat clients. And the reason being is that a new client costs 6 times more to acquire than an old client or a current client. So if anyone here has actually, you've had clients in the past that you haven't reached out to in a long time, my suggestion would be set some kind of program up so there's a regular touch point with these people as well. Viewer number 7, hold on for a sec here, you got a question. So what I'm saying is you got to click on the phone icon. If you can't, send me an email and I'll get back to you. I'll be back in a sec. Hold on, guys. There we go. So back to this. Sorry. My point would be is that you actually keep in contact with your old clients on a fairly consistent basis through email or direct mail as well. The other thing too is if you're actually seeing a client, and I'm gonna give an example. I've got a client that's an HVAC client or a heating, ventilation, air conditioning client, and what they do is if they get called out for an emergency call or anything like that, what they do is they actually try to schedule a visit for further on the road. If it's in the winter time, they look at fall. If it's in kind of springtime, they look at if it's winter time, they look for a spring tune-up. If it's the opposite season, in springtime, they will look for a fall checkup as well. So that's a good way to do it. The other thing is, you do need to make this part of your corporate DNA and do it every day, so it's a repeat. And your sales will grow if you keep bringing your repeat clients back on. Last point on this one, though, is repeat clients tend to spend 33% more than new customers. So, 6 times less costly to get and spend 33 times more. Those are the ideal clients that you want to be working with. Next thing I want to talk about is referrals. And if you have repeat clients and they're happy, same thing. Try to get referrals from them. According to the Word of Mouth Marketing Association, 65% of all sales are done through word of mouth and also through referrals. So when you think about it, 2/3 of all sales happen because there is, a word of mouth as well. Sorry, I got to jump off for a sec here. I got to just answer someone's question here. Excellent. So anyway, sorry, back to this. Now, I've got the 65%, 2/3 of all sales are made through word of mouth. Here's something interesting though. According to the Word of Mouth Marketing Association, only 18% of companies and salespeople have a formalized referral process. So, that means that 82% of companies and sales reps are not actually taking advantage of word of mouth or referrals. So, huge opportunity there as well. The other thing I want to say is info for neighbors. So let's just say, for example, you are you go to someone's house to perform a service, be it a roofer, be it a contractor of some sort that you're doing. One of the things you can do is leave something for the neighbors. And Jeff Slutsky, I interviewed him a while back, and he had a great plan. And the plan was, that you go to the people on both sides of the house and the 3 people across the street. So you hit 5 people with door hangers. And who does this very well is I've seen it before, is 1-800 got junk. And they do that sort of stuff. They go around and they put Post-it notes on people's doors. So, the other thing to think of is if you're going to put something on a door is make sure that you have a call to action on that coupon or on that door hanger as well, because of the fact that if you put something on someone's door, it says, we're at your neighbor's house. It's like, oh, well, you're at my neighbor's house. But the fact is, you say, I was at your neighbor's house, call this number, text this, do whatever, and you will get this, right? So it's a call to action. I have a strong call to action on this one. One of the other things you should look at is if you are a home renovator, same thing, Jeff Slutsky's book, it was great. It was the No BS Marketing book for services, I believe. But just look up Jeff Slutsky online. And look up his books on Amazon, and you'll see what it is. But he had a stat in there, which 70% of all home renovators' business comes from lawn signs. Now, here's the scoop: is put your mind in the position where you're driving down the street and your buddy or your neighbor has something going on in their house, and you see a truck going on. It's like, what's going on here, right? Put up a lawn sign, and tell people, another installation of this or something, or do you want to see what's going on here? Go to our website and find out more, or text us at this. Anyways, long story short, that's how you can generate some great business with minimal marketing costs associated with it. The other thing I look at is the new sell or the upsell with current clients. And so basically, what you want to do, or sorry, not with your current clients, is bundle offers. And I'm going to go back to my HVAC company, for example. One of the things that they do is when they go out, they will try to ask a person if they've done an emergency service, whether they want a maintenance package or a filter package, or would they like the maintenance and filter package. So you start bundling your offers together, which means that you're going to get more out of it. Offer plans, just like I say, offer a maintenance plan if you can. Potentially offer new services that you could put into these people as well. And buy one get one too. Make sure there's a limited time offer on it though. So what happens is don't keep it open ended. Just make sure that there's a push for people to basically take you up on that offer. Direct mailers. So interesting thing about direct mailers is I always say pick your routes wisely if you're going to send something out. And stat that I found online, 18 to 34 demographic, preference information as a direct mailer, and it's 2-3 times that of social media. Stat I found online, you never know if the stuff's true or not online, but interestingly enough, that happens. Now, I sent out a direct mailer to HVAC companies to try to get them to come to this webinar. And what happened was I got I think it was about a 5 or 6% response rate on this, which is actually way higher than what normally is. But I'll tell you my secret on this one is uh, I went out, I had my virtual assistants in the Philippines go find all the top HVAC companies in Canada on Google on the first page in the top 10 or 15 major metropolitan centers. Then I had her go to the Better Business Bureau and find out who the owners were or the presidents or the general managers were. And then what happens is I made personal email or personal letters that I sent out to these people. So like I said, I sent out, I think it was about 110. It wasn't that big. It was a small subset, but I got 5 or 6 people that actually ended up joining because of it. So I mean that 5 or 6% response rate on a marketing piece is on a blind marketing piece is really good. So long story short, if you're going to do this, pick your routes wisely. See if you can get names of people for these routes. I know Canada Post. I don't know about the U.S. if I have any U.S. People on here, but Canada Post will do direct mailers for you, addressed to the right person at the house as well, I believe. So if you could check into that. Number 6, what I'm going to go into here is selling with complementary companies. So one of the things that you should look at is, pick one company per industry, so you're not kind of cannibalizing each other's business. For example, I'll use my buddy Terry at Ultimate Garage. He could partner up with someone who is like a moving company or something like that to be able to take the stuff out of a garage when they're going to do the cabinets and the flooring and stuff like that. So I mean, just kind of find complementary companies that you can actually do that sort of stuff with. Offer special packages in bundled packages, and work together as a team. Everyone has to be working together to generate leads for one another on this sort of stuff. So long story short, work together as a team. You know what? I am just in the midst of setting up the Calgary Business Networking Group. So if anyone's online here is from Calgary, reach out to me at chris@salestipaday.com and just ask me to join this group. I do have a group on Google Plus that does this, but I'm trying to pull something like this together for contractors to be able to work together and generate more business. I'm going to give another example. There's a HVAC company in town here, and I heard from the owner. He did this with 3 separate companies, and he actually had to back off doing this because he was getting so many leads from everyone that he just couldn't keep up with it. So he actually had to back off this, and I think he's actually resurrected it again. So there you go. There's one thing. One last point I want to make, if you are in the service business, and this is actually with any business actually, is follow-up. So this is a stat that's wrapped around home contractors, but the fact is that 60% of lost sales go on to buy within a year. And the reason being is that, even though you've put a quote together and you think it's a lost sale, the fact is that the person who you put that quote together may not actually be at a point in time where they are set to buy. So, long story short, make sure that you're following up with these people on a consistent basis. And as I say, 60% of the lost sales that you thought were lost do go on and buy with someone else within a year. And if you're not there staying in contact, guess what? You're losing out on a huge opportunity as well. So, one last thing I want to do, I put this in a couple of days ago when I was thinking about this was, the proper follow-up is critical to getting the sale. If you do not have a CRM system or client relationship management system within your organization, my suggestion would be to put something in place. I use a system called Insightly, which allows you to track stuff. And there's another one I use called Contactually as well. But in the case, if you are a contractor, I would think that Insightly would probably work. Insightly is free to use for up to 3 users, and Contactually, I believe, is about $40 a month, and it does a whole bunch of stuff that's phenomenal. I'm going to have another webinar on this with the company so that they can show people how powerful their system is. But you know what? Take a look into a CRM. As I say, Insightly's free. Take a boo at it and see what they got. So I'm going to go into the online world here. So I'm going to show some numbers here that I found online as well. 89% of internet users search for search online before they make a purchase, and 73% of the time it involves a local product or service. So think of it this way: if someone's looking for when they're looking for a product or a service or anything like that, they're going online. They're looking Calgary roofer or Vancouver roofer or whatever it is, right? 61% of those searches result in a purchase. So, I mean, if you're not online, you do have to get online. You also have to think about strategies to engage with people online. So I'm going to go over a couple of those today to help you increase your abilities to generate sales leads as well. First one, email list. If anyone's been to my webinars before, they know that I hammer on emails and getting a proper email system in place to follow up with clients. It is, according to the Email Marketing Association, for every dollar you spend, you get $43 and change back. So it's a significant ROI for an organization. Subscribers on your email list also will generate 34% more revenue. So think of it this way: is I'm gonna kind of simple this down. Is that if you go to a website and you tell someone, give us your name and number, or name and email, and you will receive a coupon, for example. Now you've got their name and email. You're allowed to market to them. Try to market to them at least once a month. And if you're putting offers out in an email newsletter that goes out, then yeah, those subscribers are going to generate potentially, the people that click and take you up are going to subscribe generate 34% more revenue than just someone who's found you in other means as well. So one of the other things too is that you can set up an email system with something like MailChimp, Aweber. If you want to get really kind of into it, Infusionsoft or Onaport is another couple of systems. There's a whole bunch out there that you can look. Reach out to me. I can help you with this stuff and tell you. Someone's asking, what are those CRM systems again? Insightly and Contactually. Send me an email and I can send you links for those as well. So in these cases, always when you've done a service or anything like that, ask someone if you could put them on your email list. On average, 6% of email list recipients will buy or inquire about your products and services. And once you've had someone once and you're emailing to them again, those are basically, I mean, really, it's, there is some cost, but minimal cost. But they've been, in essence, like free sales leads for you as well. So here's something I just wanted to show you. Just the example of a email marketing in action. So let's just say that you're growing your email list by 100 people per month, and you have a 30% open rate. What an open rate is if you send an email out, if you send it to 100 people, only 30 people are going to open it. Those stats are going down, but if you've got compelling content, you can get about a 30% open rate. With that 6% industry average uptake, by month 12, you're getting 22 new sales. So I don't know about you, but if you're missing out on 22 potential sales each month that you'd want to have, it's a great mechanism. Contact me. I can show you how to do this sort of stuff and talk to you about it. I also have a service wrapped around this. Next one I'm going to talk about is text marketing. So if anyone here sees this, if you're in Canada, if you pull out your phone and text cold call to 393939, an email or a text is going to come back with a link that lets you sign up for my Stop Cold Calling session. And if you're in the US, you can text cold call to 313131. Give it a try and see what happens. But text marketing there's some cool ways that you can use this. One of the things though is, if you think of it this way, if you have a truck, I'm going to go a service company, HVAC company, if you have a truck and you say, for service, text, whatever that, in my case, it's cold call, but you could have your company name to 393939. People will contact you to set up a service or set up whatever. When you do this sort of stuff, it can increase your quotes up to 325%. The number one use for text marketing is also to get information. So, people are going to inquire and try to figure out things. Give them a mechanism and means to be able to do that sort of stuff. This is phenomenal. The open rate of text is 98% compared to 22% for email. So the prior one where I was talking about email rate of 30%, so it's lower, it's 22%. But if you can get an open rate of 98% on a marketing message to a specific group or category, that's amazing, right? And mobile offers, if you have an offer that you're going to put up, is they're redeemed at 10 times more than paper offers or offers that come through in magazines or delivered directly to a house. Huge opportunity. So I put myself in the shoes of someone who owns like an HVAC company. You know what? Get stickers on your vans that say text whatever to get a quote, to get service, to get whatever it is that you want, and you'll be able to, you know, basically get people to reach out to you. Reason being too is, think of it this way: is you're going to remember cold call and 393939. Those are two easy things to remember. If you've got like 403-630-1243, which is my phone number, people are not going to remember that. So if you're driving your van around, you know, people are not necessarily going to be able to pick up the phone and do that. They'll remember this and be able to get a hold of you as well. Online appointments. So one of the things that I look at is 65% of all women make online appointments. 85% of all household decisions are made by women. You know, those two stats are very powerful when you think about it. That, you know, you've got a demographic that will make appointments online, and, you know, literally 85% of these people are the people that make the decision on any of the purchases for a household. So, you know, this is allowing you an ability to capture a whole new revenue stream. And I'll give you an example. HVAC client that I have in Calgary here, we were doing blog posts for them, and in every single blog post, we had a button that allowed people to click to get to schedule an appointment. And that button was clicked so many times, it increased their revenue just by adding that one button there. So, you know, my suggestion would be, think of a way that you can get people to connect with you. Pretty easy to do. You could create a little button. You can have a hyperlink to it, and I'm talking very much into the cornflakes here, in you know, very technical level. But you can have a hyperlink to this so that when people click on it, it can send you an email. Or what you can do is put your phone number on there, so when people have found you on a mobile device, they can click that button to contact you directly as well. The next thing I'm going to go into, we're getting close to the end here, is video. So I don't know if you have video on your websites that show stuff, but you know, 70% of anything consumed online right now is via video, and that's bandwidth that comes from what is it, Inc. magazine? No, it's Fast Company. That's what it was. Now that, of course, is going to be inclusive of Netflix and any streaming online, but the thing is YouTube is, you know, the second largest search engine online. So people will actually go into YouTube to search for specific things, and you have a higher rate of getting found online. So the other thing too is that a strong video with a good story is, remember, 8 times more than written information, and 4 times more than audio information. So, you know, if you have a strong, compelling video, then people are going to remember it. But the same thing is, if you're posting a video up, make sure you have a clear call to action to drive people through to taking you up on an offer. So if you put something up on YouTube, down in the description, say contact us for whatever, and you can put your phone number in, you can put a link to your website in, and it'll actually hyperlink to your website. One last thing, you know what, if you optimize a video, so what I'm talking about is if the title's correct, if the information in the description's correct, and you have the keywords correct, and I'm thinking specifically about YouTube, you know, you have a 50% greater chance of getting into Google's first page, because they will display videos on the first page. And I've got several videos that are displayed on Google's first page just based on certain keywords and information that I put into place. Next one, online reviews and testimonials. I mean, I don't know if anyone here has a system in place with online reviews or testimonials for their organization, but if you don't, I would highly recommend you start looking at some sort of system that you can put into place. You know, 71% of people read online reviews before they make a purchase, which is a very strong, compelling segment of a marketplace, because they're in buy mode. You know, based on the reviews that they could see, it can increase your sales by 20% and more by having a very good rating for your business and having a lot of people that are recommending you. 7 out of 10 people that read online reviews will share them with their family and friends. And 92% of people feel more confident in online reviews than by a salesperson. That speaks volumes as well. So, you know, if you do not have an online review system, I would seriously look at it, put it on your website. One of the other ones you can use is Google. Google Plus has business pages that you can put together where you can get reviews and everything. There is one that I know of for the service industry, and I cannot remember it off the top of my head. I know there's one, there's HomeStars, and there's another one called, I think, Buzz Review, that will help you out on that sort of stuff. So you can take a look into that. Now, we're getting close to the end. I got number 12, and I actually have one after this, but new visitors. So here's the scoop. Very few people that come to your website will actually contact you. And the other stats are, it depends on the business, if you're business to business or business to consumer. The people that come to your website, 70 to 80% of them never come back again because they're not finding information that they're looking for. So, you know, that's the point that I just made here, is they're coming to your site and they're leaving, the vast majority of them. You know, if you can entice a portion of them with an offer, then you're capturing a segment that is currently probably in buy mode and looking for something. You know, so my point is, if you have a website, make sure that you have a strong call to action on each page. So someone, for example, let's see, I'll use the HVAC company again. If there's furnace repair, you know what? Make sure you have a strong call to action, which is going to be contact us for a furnace repair quote right now. If you go to another page on their website, it's an air conditioner. It's like, contact us now for an air conditioner quote right now. And, you know, make sure that that call to action resonates with each page on your website, and make sure you have a call to action on each page of your website where there's a service or a product that you're offering. And you will see that people will come through and reach out to you as well. Great way to get new sales. One of the ways that I look at getting leveraging this is by using live chat on a website. So anyone who's actually come through to any of these webinars before, they know that I've created a live chat widget that goes on people's websites. The reason being is that, you know what, I'll go back to the HVAC company again. I keep going back to this HVAC company, but a quick story here is, one day I was doing some stuff on their analytics account, and I hit their Gmail account by accident. And there was an email that kept coming through from a certain company or a certain name. And I opened it up, and what it was a person's name with their email, their phone number, and a stated, I want a quote for an air conditioner, I need a furnace, I need this, I need this, I need this. And I went through with the owner, and we looked at this sort of stuff. And, you know, from what I can determine, it was probably, you know, about $250,000 in potential quoted work on a monthly basis. And the unfortunate part was they were not actually actioning these emails. Now, after the fact, guess what? Yeah, they absolutely were actioning these emails. And the reason being, this live chat that they had on their website, it said, you know, have any questions, leave them here. It was in offline mode. No one was managing it. No one was looking at it. But people were still having questions and clicking on it to try to figure out how to answer it. Now, one of the things that we did was we created a live chat widget that proactively pops up 3 times to engage with website visitors at certain intervals when they're on the site, time intervals. And what we found is, you know, the first time it pops up within 5 to 15 seconds, very few people are actually asking anything. We wait for about a minute, minute and a half. We get, you know, a few people asking questions. If someone's been on the site for 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, typically we see a huge amount of people asking questions about certain things, and those generally turn into leads. You know, we've seen probably between about 65 to 90% of the time, people that have been on the site that long will actually turn into a qualified sales lead with a, here's my name, here's my phone number, here's what I need, have someone contact me, so on and so forth. Great way to generate sales. You know what, if you guys have a website, contact me, Chris at Sales Tip a Day. I'll let you try this for 30 days for free, just to see if it'll even work for you. So I'm going to give you an example. Once again, I'm sure you're sick of me talking about this HVAC company. This is actually a different HVAC company. But these guys, they close approximately 70% of the leads that come through to their website. So what happens is they had, you know, almost 2,100 visitors. We had the engaged chats going with these guys. And we had like 2,500, almost 2,600 proactive automated chats that popped up. Of those, we had 143 that ended up being engaged, and it turned into 36 leads. So basically, we were converting 25% of the engaged chats into qualified sales leads. And if you look, these guys are generating leads at $17.80 a lead. I was talking to an HVAC company, and the guy was telling me they were generating leads at their average leads was $250 to $300. So I could just imagine, getting a lead for $17.50 that's qualified with a stated need is highly relevant to them. These guys, their average per client was about $700, $800 per client. That's a huge ROI. They're getting, for every dollar they spend, they're getting $117 in revenue for their organization. I'm going to go into one more. So that's the 12 points that I talked about. I'm going to go into one more that might help you out, and I've seen it in action in different companies, is remarketing. So if anyone doesn't know what remarketing is, here's what it is. So I go to the Bank of Montreal's website looking at their credit card. You know what? This ad now starts following me all over the place. So I'm on CNN, I'm on Forbes, I'm on wherever. This ad is now following me everywhere because of the fact. Now, what that is Google has a specific service they offer through their AdWords called remarketing. And what it does is when you go to a website, that website will cookie your computer, basically put a tracking code on your computer. When you go off to other sites that are in the Google display network, so they have ads that they will display, then this ad, because they know you went to this website, will actually show up and follow you around for a period of time. Reason being is that because, just because I went to this website right now doesn't mean I'm ready to purchase or get this card or do whatever. I may want to look a couple of weeks down the road, whatever it is. This thing will follow me around, and it's just, top of mind when it keeps following me around to a point where I go, you know what? I need to apply for that. Hit apply today. Let's go get this thing. One of the reasons why you want to do this is a stat I got from builtwith.com. And it was back in the summer months. But the top 10,000 websites, 10% of them use remarketing. When you look at the bottom, the entire internet, if you look at it as an amount, typically is 0.2%. So, that amount right there at 10.4% is 52 times greater than the entire internet. So obviously these guys know something that a lot of people don't know about using the Google remarketing. And what I've seen recently, you can see that spike where it starts to go up. A lot more companies are starting to jump on this. So if you're not using it, it's an excellent way to generate sales leads for you as well. Just to give you an example, let's just say that you have 1,000 visitors to your website every day. This will just kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. You have 1,000 visitors to your website every day or every month. You can run ads up to 3 times a day, and if there's a 0.1% uptake, then literally by the end of 18 months, and the reason I put 18 months in here is because Google will allow you to cookie someone's computer for 18 months, and you can change these ads up depending on the time of year to display different offers. But if you have a 0.1% uptake, it means you're getting 16 sales leads for less than $43 a month by month 18. So that's another means to getting extra sales leads that you're just kind of letting slip through your fingers as well. So my last thoughts as I go into this, we're coming down the home stretch here, is what? If you're doing marketing, make sure that you're setting goals and plans and you're keeping to it. The ability to set some goals and to plan for it will give you a far greater success rate than if you don't. The other thing too is it is so tough to get customers. Make sure you always thank your customers after they purchase from you. In different ways. Even sending a handwritten thank you card goes miles for people. So remember to always thank your customers because they are going to be your biggest allies and help you get those, the repeats and also the referrals that you need to look for. And I always say also to other people, marketing is not a one-time, it's not a one and done. It is a continual. You need to keep continually doing marketing, and you need to be looking at 4, 5, 6 different things at any given time, and testing and evaluating against these and seeing how they're working for you. So one of the things I'm going to do, I've given away a lot of information. This is a first. I have never done this before with an offer, but I've put together something that may be of interest to people. So I've mapped out a process that I do, and I've put it into a kind of a monthly, biweekly, and a weekly scenario that people can use. And what I'm offering is the ability to create at least one or two blog posts for a company. So it'd be one or two blog posts on a month, or one or two every 2 weeks, or one or two every week, depending on the week. We will do a social media blast for you, so we'll get it out to the different social media channels that you should be looking at, which are your big ones are going to be Google+, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We will also set up email marketing so that you can keep in contact with your clients. And the nice thing is you can use your blog posts as information that you can send through to your clients. We will put live chat on your website and actually engage on your behalf if you would like with your clients to generate sales leads. And last but not least, we're going to set up some monitoring and some reporting on this so you can see exactly where your sales leads are coming from and what's actually working for you. And we can actually even nail it down to that kind of granularity. There are setup costs associated with it. It's a one-time fee, $500 for the monthly. There's also $750 for the biweekly and weekly because we're doing a bit more in there. And the setup itself is, we'll set up your social media integration with the major channels. If you do not have profiles, we'll actually set the profiles up for you. We will set you up with your own email marketing account. We will set up MailChimp for you. We'll set up an email capture form on your website so that people can give you their names and emails, and so you can add people to it, and also set up a newsletter setup that we will send out. We'll send your email out on a regular basis. We'll set you up with a Gmail account so that we can set up Google Analytics, and if you need Google AdWords, we'll do keyword research to help you get found online as well. We'll do the live chat setup, and there's a whole bunch more that we actually do with this. Just to give you an example, this is the process I do literally on a monthly basis, and it's I put blog posts up every day. I've been a little remiss of doing it this week, but I do put blog posts up every day, and I drive people through with a clear call to action, and everything that I'm putting here, I do. So I'll have a team that will be able to help you out with that, and I'll put the offer out again after this webcast. And you know what? If you want to learn hundreds of tactics, hundreds of more tactics, contact me. You know what? I'm available anytime. You can reach me at chris@salestipaday.com. My phone number, 403-630-1243. Feel free to reach out to me if you've got questions or want to find out anything. I'm a busy guy, but if you can't get through, leave a voicemail, and I'll get back to you as well. The other thing too, go to my website, salestipaday.com. I have 1,700, almost 1,800 articles or blog posts on there with information from some of the world's greatest authors that are giving away their information to you to be able to leverage and use. There we go for the daily sales and marketing tips. So you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to go in and open up a phone line so it's unmuted and ask anyone if they got any questions. Hello, anyone? Hello? Hello, people. Anyone got any questions? I see everyone's going to be silent, are they? I'll tell you what, if that's the case, viewer one, thanks, Chris, great presentation. You can reach out to me on my email and just tell me who it is. Unfortunately, with this, I can only see who the viewers are. I can't, I don't have people's names, unfortunately, and it's only viewers. But if you have any questions, reach out to me on the phone or email, and I'm more than happy to do that. If you want a copy of this presentation, send me an email. I will send you the link for it, and we'll go from there. So I appreciate everyone's time. Hopefully you gained some valuable information from this. And next week I'm doing a How to Stop Cold Calling webinar. It's my bi-weekly webinar. You know what? All you got to do, just go to join.me/Chris Hamilton at 9 a.m. and that way you will be able to take in the presentation. So with that, I bid adieu to everyone. Thank you ever so much for your time, and everyone have a great day and a great weekend.